Melissa and Victor Ayala are a husband and wife team whose lives are grounded in resilience, faith, and family. Through Victor's journey with serious health challenges, including cancer, they've developed a deep appreciation for life and purpose. Together, they share a story of perseverance, gratitude, and hope, inspiring others to find strength in adversity and cherish meaningful moments with loved ones. Please give them a warm round of applause for Victor and Melissa.
I want to thank everybody for taking the time to be here. A lot of good information. It really helped, especially the food lady. She really gave me some good tips. And this is my husband, Victor.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having us. We're a little nervous, but we're truly grateful to be here and share what we went through.
Our journey started in 2018 with something that didn't seem serious at the time. He had shoulder pain, right shoulder pain, to be exact. Victor does very physical work, so I thought he pulled something. I was applying muscle relaxants to his neck and shoulders. We didn't think anything about it. Then one day, something changed. He started sweating, like really sweating.
I kept telling her, I'm fine, I'm fine. I didn't think it was anything serious at the time.
Well, I said, no, we're going to the emergency room. Even if it was something like real small, like food poisoning, I didn't want to take a chance. Well, that decision changed everything. They ran at the emergency room, they ran tests, and one of the first things that they noticed was his urine. It was dark, like Coca-Cola. And that was the moment I knew something was very wrong.
After that, everything started happening fast. They admitted me, started running tests, CT scans, MRIs, ultrasounds, everything. And then one day they told us I had hepatitis C. I had cirrhosis, and then later they found tumors in my liver. I didn't even know I had hepatitis C. I had never had blood transfusions, no risky behaviors, nothing. To this day, I still don't know how I got it.
Oh, that was another layer for us because we didn't even have family history to rely on. Victor was born in El Salvador, and there were things we just didn't know. But sitting in that room, hearing the word cancer, this was something else. I've had a lot of family members who had cancer and heart disease, but this was very different. This was close. This was my husband.
I said, wow, am I going to lose my hair? I wasn't able to process it right away. She asked a lot of questions I wouldn't have.
I asked the doctor, what stage is he in? And she said, they're so small, they're not even a stage. Oh, that gave us hope right from the beginning.
After that, they started many treatments. They did everything possible, ablation, embolization, chemo. I was even part of a clinical trial.
Before any of that, they asked if he wanted to be part of a study.
I said yes, because if this could help someone else, even just one person, then it was worth it. I was in that study for 2 years.
One of the hardest parts was how differently we handled everything. Victor doesn't complain, even when an employee noticed blood on his face mask. He didn't even tell me about it.
Well, I've always been that way. I tend not to complain. I just handle things.
But that made it harder for me. because I didn't know what he was going through. He would go to the doctor and say, "I'm fine." When they asked him, "I'm fine." And I'd be sitting there thinking, "No, you're not."
The treatments were very hard. I had sores, blisters, even inside my mouth. And drinking water was very painful. And eating was like chewing in glass. But I didn't want her to know how bad it really was.
But eventually I saw it. But the time I saw it, it was already severe. There was one moment during all of this that really scared me. He came home from work one day, ate, and went to bed like normal. When I tried to wake him up, he wasn't himself. I didn't recognize him. He had this look, and it honestly scared me. He was confused, angry, saying things that didn't make sense. So I called one of my children, and we ended up calling the ambulance. And at the hospital, they had to restrain him. I remember seeing him tied down, crying, asking me to help him, asking me to take the restraints off. I wouldn't. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't. That was one of the hardest moments of this entire journey for me, to see him hurting so bad.
I don't remember most of it. I just remember waking up and realizing that I was tied down and something was very wrong. Later, I found out I had said things threatening my children, my wife, and that wasn't me.
We later learned that it was something called HE, and that's what builds up, ammonia building up and affecting his brain. But at the time, we had no idea this could even happen, and that what made even more terrifying.
There were moments where I didn't want to live anymore. And I felt like I was a burden, like I was putting too much on everyone around me. And I wanted to stop it.
That was very hard for me to hear. He said it more than once. He wanted to quit many times. And finally, I told him I got tired of hearing it. And I said, "Okay, well, if you don't want to do this anymore, that's your choice. Do not take the medications. Do not see the doctors. Do not do any testing, and stop wasting everybody's time." That was really hard for me to say. When he would go to work, I would just boo-hoo, just wait till he left, and I would just boo-hoo. Then I would pray and have hope and faith. I needed to lift him up. And stay strong. But who's lifting me up? People don't talk about that part, do they?
We had a doctor at Houston Methodist. She is an angel. I'm very grateful that Dr. Sudha Kadali took care of things from the beginning to the end. The microwave ablation took care of two of the tumors, but they couldn't get rid of the third one. It was a little too big. Eventually, they told us the only option left was a liver transplant. So I went on the transplant list for 2 years.
And that came with its own emotional roller coaster. They would call and say, "We think we have a liver." And we'd rush to the hospital, and then it didn't work out. That happened more than once.
I think they called 9 times.
After the last time when he was admitted for the surgery, it didn't work. It didn't work out again. That was the one that got him down, depressed, moody. I told him we had to keep praying.
Then one day I got the call. I was at work and I left immediately. I drove straight to the hospital. This time it was for real. So I had the transplant on March 14th, 2024.
Every time we would go to the hospital, it was always a long day. I would always pack a lunch because I'm a diabetic as well. They called us early in the morning to say that they had a transplant ready. It was real. I didn't even get a chance to pack a lunch, a snack, make my coffee, or anything. And they kept him. Can you believe it? They took him in, and I didn't even have any food or coffee.
Oh, yeah, the surgery lasted about 12 hours. And when I woke up, I didn't even realize what had happened at first. I tried to move, and that's when I felt the pain. I saw all the machines around me. There were tubes everywhere. And I remember taking a deep breath and realizing I was alive. That feeling, I can't even explain it.
And for me, I was in the waiting room for hours. And when the doctors finally came out, I really couldn't read their face. I didn't know if it was good news or bad news. And when the doctor got closer, he said, "You did really well." The first thing I asked, "He's alive?" And when they said yes, I just said, "Thank you, God."
Recovery wasn't very easy, but I was determined. I was so hungry. I was thirsty. I just wanted to feel normal again. A couple of days after surgery, I started walking, not very far, maybe a few steps. But for me, that was everything. I was reprimanded by a young lady who said, "What are you doing? You need to be lying down. If you need anything, you need to call me." Every day after that, I pushed myself a little more. The doctors couldn't believe I was walking around that soon. They removed me from, they moved me to the ICU to a regular room. And I wanted to get out of the hospital and back to my family.
He was in the hospital for around 4 weeks. And when he came home, I wanted to make sure he stayed on track so I could cook for him. I actually took the menus from the hospital. I hope that's not a crime. So I could cook for him like he was eating in the hospital. The food looked good. And I wanted to make sure he was eating right, recovering the right way. Victor is a walking miracle. To this day, people ask, "How is your husband doing?" And I proudly say he's doing so well. Thank you for your prayers. I just got to get him into church. He drops me off and he picks me up, and it's just 2 steps, and he'd be in the church. But if this is the closest I can get to a testimony, I'll take it.
Yeah, about 88 days after surgery, I went back to work. I never missed a day during treatment. And that's very important for everybody to do. And I wanted to keep that same mindset, stay busy, and continue to work. But I also learned something through all of this. No matter what, you cannot judge people with what you see. Someone walking slow, someone looking tired, you never know what they're going through. Now I look at people differently, with more understanding, more patience, and a lot more kindness.
And for me, I learned patience too, learning when to push and when to step back, and understanding that healing takes time. Even now, we're still learning. We are here today because we didn't give up.
And if our story can help everyone,
Anyway,
or even one person, then everything we went through was worth it. Thank you.
thank you very much.